Hi Cancer, welcome to your December 2019 Astrology 33 bonus love reading. Thank you to those of you who've liked, viewed, shared, subscribed, and donated to the channel. I appreciate all of that. And for those of you interested in booking a personal reading with me, I actually won't be offering those until around the second week of December, so just keep an eye out. I'll probably make an announcement on the channel when I do pick those back up, but I'm definitely expecting somewhere in the second week of December. Alright, as far as what we have in front of us, this is what I call the Bridging the Gap spread. And the way it works is the cards on the left side represent your energy toward the connection with your main love interest, and the cards on the right side represent their energy toward the connection. And then these are the past energies, present energies, future energies, as far as the decks being used. On the left side, we have the Lover's Path Tarot. On the right side, we have the Tarot of Sexual Magic. And then once we get through the main spread, we'll actually pull some oracle cards to gain some additional insight to the situation, and that's where the Bridging the Gap dynamic comes into play. Alright, so with that out of the way, past energy on your side, we have the Ace of Coins. So this is the equivalent to the Ace of Pentacles, and for those of you who watch my general readings, I always say that with the Ace energy, I don't necessarily see that as an offer that's physically being made, but it's just more something that's on the idea of the person. So this can just be saying that this is how you viewed this person, that this was someone that you saw a long-term potential with, someone where the connection would be one that was constantly growing and definitely had the potential to go the distance. And, this is maybe saying that maybe because of that, you wanted to offer, maybe you wanted to extend an offer to this person. Now, it looks like maybe if we look at the present energies, it might be possible that some of you do make that offer, but this is just what I'm seeing here, that in the past, at the very least, you were thinking to yourself, okay, this could definitely be someone I could see myself with in the long term and build something with. Past energy on their side, we have the Temperance card. So this is a major arcana card for Sagittarius. So some of you could be dealing with a Sagittarius or possibly a Virgo, since they also represent the 6th house for you. But what this could just be saying here is maybe that's part of why you were into them. Maybe they seemed very balanced, very on top of things. Maybe they felt like this could even be someone that you met from work too. Maybe that's what the Pentacle energy that I'm seeing in the spread is about as well. And maybe you felt like, okay, this is someone I could really see myself getting along with. Maybe you figure, all right, well, obviously I know they have some kind of career going on for them if you knew them from work. And then maybe you felt like you guys just hit it off on other levels as well. Could have been a lot of heavy sexual attraction as well. In the present position on your side, we have the 6 of Coins and the 2 of Cups. So this is actually a Taurus energy here, which for you guys is your 11th house. And then this is actually a Cancer card. It represents the first 10 degrees of Cancer. So for those of you who have your placement in those degrees, this might resonate for you a bit more. But what I'm seeing with these two cards, well, for one, when I see this card, I think about how the 5 of Pentacles, and especially in the traditional tarot, for example, usually it's two people, looks like they're walking through a snowstorm, looks like they're having a pretty rough time, right? So I see the remnants of that snowstorm in the background there, outside their window. And then also, with the 6 of Coins energy, we think about balance being restored. So this can just be saying that maybe in some way, shape, or form, you guys might have had a falling out. Maybe it's even because possibly this person either moved away somewhere or already lived at a distance from you, so that could have led to a disconnect in the connection. But what I'm seeing here is an attempt to restore balance. But what stands out to me with this 6 of Pentacles in particular is, if we think about it, it looks like the feminine person has at least those 3 pentacles already on their side. And we could say, even if those are the 2 belonging to the male, if he's providing that third one he has to this person, then they'll have 4, they'll have 2, right? So it'll be imbalanced. So this can just be saying that maybe you guys might have caused some kind of a rift in a connection in the past. And that's why you could be extending an offer to them in some way, shape, or form. And the reason why I say that could be the case too is this 2 of Cups in particular stands out to me as a bit different than the others. The reason I say that is, for one, if we look at the cups, one of the cups is actually knocked over. And then also it looks like there's a storm going on in the background. So this could just be saying that it can All right, let's look at a very generic way this could have played out. For example, maybe in the past, especially during the Mercury retrograde, right? Maybe the two of you had separated with each other. Maybe you just got into some kind of an argument. It was going retrograde through your fifth house of love and romance. And now maybe this is you trying to come back in to actually fix the connection. And, this would say, if that's the case, the love is still there, but there might have been some damage done. So, it shouldn't be anything major that would need to be done to fix the connection, but that's what I'm seeing there. See if there's any other ways it could be playing out. And then maybe this is even something where maybe the two of you were together in the past, and then maybe you decided to just be friends. And maybe this is saying that in the present, you guys are trying to get that back off the ground again. That could be another way. Or even maybe you guys split and you're trying to get your foot back in the door by being friends for a while. Since, again, that Taurus energy does represent your 11th house. And this might even say, for some of you, as far as the timeline goes, maybe this even happened during the full moon in Taurus that we had. Pretty much at the time I'm recording this right as Mercury's going direct again. So that full moon was a little over a week ago. So maybe that's what that's pointing to. Present energy on their side, we have the Three of Cups. So this is more Cancer energy. And which reminds me, I will say this most likely is your energy on this side, but since this is a general reading, keep in mind that if it sounds more like this is the other person's energy on this side and this sounds more like your energy, then you could definitely trust that, since it is just a general reading. But yeah, with the Three of Cups energy, this shows a celebratory atmosphere, passionate atmosphere as well. Always think of the egg as representing fertility, not necessarily in the pregnancy sense, because I don't really see any other cards that would indicate that, but this could just be saying that whatever the case may be in the present between whoever had to extend an offer to try to restore the balance of the connection seems to have worked, because it looks like in the present the two of you are actually doing really well. Like I said, the sexual attraction could be off the charts with this connection, and maybe you guys are connecting in that way again. But yeah, in the present, it looks like things are going fairly well for the two of you. All right, in the future position, we have the Magician in reverse. Well, it's called Magic in this deck, but same card as Magician. So if this coming up in the reverse, this could just be saying that, maybe you really did put in a lot of effort to get the connection reconnected, and maybe this is saying now, maybe your confidence is a little bit shaken. So, this could just have an on again, off again vibe with it too, and maybe that's the issue. Maybe it is because there is some kind of distance between the two of you. And with this coming up in reverse too, I have to say that if this was someone that you met during the retrograde or tried to reconnect with during the retrograde, then maybe that could be what this is pointing to as well. Which is to say, maybe you met them during the retrograde, everything seemed perfect, all right, things are going well in the present, and then all of a sudden, as that retrograde energy starts to fade away, because even though it'll be direct at the time I'm recording this, it's pretty much going to be still in shadow until the end of the first week of December. So you could still be feeling the effects of that. So this could just be saying in the future position, maybe once that dust kind of settles and the fog clears a little bit, maybe you start to realize, oh, maybe this connection wasn't, everything that I thought it was. That's one way it could be playing out. But yeah, it could just be as simple as maybe you just don't feel as confident as you seem to be feeling in the present about the connection. And then the future energy on their side, we have the Knight of Wands. So this could point to potentially why you might feel like you're not as confident in the connection, because the Knight of Wands energy, well, technically it is a Sagittarius card too, so we see now two Sagittarius energies playing out here. But beyond that, this also represents someone who tends to travel a lot, someone who doesn't tend to stay in one place for very long. And you could also, of course, translate that to relationships, right? And how that could be an issue if you're trying to build a relationship with someone. So maybe that's what's at play there. I'm really picking up on that vibe, just looking at the layout as a whole on both sides, which is to say that this could either be someone you met during the retrograde, maybe you guys really hit it off immediately, everything felt great, and now as the retrograde energy is starting to fade, you might see the connection a little bit differently. Like, okay, well, I was seeing this as maybe something that could turn into something long term, but now, maybe you're like, all right, well, maybe there were some red flags there that I didn't notice at the time, and now maybe they're becoming a bit more visible to you. Especially you guys are going to have that full moon in your 12th house around the middle of December. And then in January, you're going to have a full moon in your sign, which is an eclipse too. So, it could be one of those things revolving around those transits. And let me see if anything else comes to mind. Or it could just be as simple as that. Maybe this is someone that you have been friends with, you've been connected with for a long time. Maybe, for example, they're back in your town or you're back in their town during the holidays, right? Maybe you guys hit it off right away. You think to yourself, oh, maybe this could turn into something long term. And then once the holidays are over, either you or they go back to whatever city they were in, for example, and now the separation's back and you don't feel as confident about the connection. What's interesting though, the bottom of the deck on your side, we have the Queen of Coins, which is Capricorn energy, which is your seventh house too. So to me, this represents feeling stable, secure. So almost pretty much the opposite of the Magician energy in reverse. So for some of you, maybe this is just pointing to the timeline, where maybe this is just pointing to the fact that we will be in the time of Capricorn towards the end of the month, and there actually will be a new moon in Capricorn. And that's actually going to be a pretty supportive one. So, what could happen there too is maybe it could play out one of two ways. Because that new moon in Capricorn is going to be trine Uranus in Taurus, which is your house of friendship. And it's around Christmas time. So, what could happen is that could either lead to maybe someone who you've only been friends with, all of a sudden, like that, you guys end up getting into a relationship. Or the other way around, where, maybe you guys are in a relationship and then maybe during the holidays, for whatever reason, you guys decide to part ways and just maybe stay friends. So that could be what all that it's pointing to. All right, and then the bottom of the deck on their side, we have the Hermit. So this is actually Virgo energy, major arcana card for Virgo, and I was saying that maybe some of you just can be a Virgo you're dealing with as well. Because like I said, Sagittarius is the natural ruler of the ninth house, but Sagittarius is your sixth house, and Virgo is the natural ruler of the sixth. So this can be a Virgo you're dealing with, or again, maybe this is someone that you work with as well, which I did pick up on for some of you. So we'll see what the oracle cards bring to the mix. But yeah, this could just be saying that this person could really just be keeping to themselves. So even if they do seem to be on the move in some way, shape, or form, I don't necessarily pick up on the vibe that they're doing it to be with someone else. It could just be that they have some other things that they have to deal with. Because the Hermit to me is a pretty solitary energy, so I don't think it's like a player vibe or anything. It could just be that really they do have some things to take care of, or maybe if they're not as, maybe they're a little bit more non-committal than you, so maybe they also feel the passion of that connection too, but maybe, you might be a little bit more sold on it than they are, and they might want a little more time to think about it. So something to keep in mind there too, but we'll see what the oracle cards add to the mix. So first I'll see if we get anything from the Mystic Moon Oracle deck, and for those of you who haven't seen this type of reading from me before, I do actually pre-shuffle this deck before we start recording, and then I'm actually just looking for some jumpers here. So first I'll be looking for unspoken messages from you to them, and then from them to you. And if we shuffle for a while and nothing comes up, I just take that as a sign to keep it moving, rather than forcing and pull a random card or anything like that. So let's see. First we're looking for unspoken messages from you to them. Okay, nothing coming up there, but I'll give it a few more shuffles. Oh, got one there, but it fell. So let me just keep shuffling to see if we get any from them to you, and then I'll go pick up that card. Okay, it doesn't look like anything's coming up there, but I'll give it a few more shuffles. Alright, yeah, nothing came up there, but let me go grab the card that was from you to them, and we'll see what it has to say. Okay, we have, it's easier to just stay away right now. So that's an interesting dynamic there, because this makes me think that maybe what's going on in the present could actually be the other way around. Where maybe, you guys did see the potential, and maybe this person, especially since looking at the spread here, they do have their back to the cards on the side. Maybe they were the ones who weren't really, seeing the potential of the connection. And then maybe they have a change of heart with that Three of Cups energy in the present. And maybe they're the ones who are coming back around, presenting that pentacle. And maybe you do feel that connection there. But like I said, this Two of Cups in particular in this deck always stands out to me, how it seems, a bit more stormy than your normal Two of Cups card you see in most tarot decks. So, maybe this is just saying that you already lost confidence in a connection, and that could be what the Magician in reverse is pointing to. So, at least for some of you, that could be what's going on there. We'll see what the Wisdom of the Oracle adds to the dynamic. So, same situation here. I did shuffle this before we started recording, and I'm just looking for one card here. Then we'll wrap up. Okay, got one. All right, you guys got a leg up. There's the artwork, and the number is 34. So let's see what this has to say. It says receiving help, delegating authority, interdependence. The Oracle's message: you've come to a point where going it alone is no longer optimal for you. Life has a way of presenting you with the perfect people to align with who can give you a leg up during this next phase of your journey. Help comes to you in all the areas of your life where you need a boost. The trick is to accept that aid so freely given. When you embrace interdependence, allowing teamwork and independence to commingle, miracles happen. Now is such a time. What's interesting there is, in a way, I could see that message being possible for the person on this side more so than yours, but then in another way, maybe that's what all of these pentacles are pointing to for your side, which is to say that for some of you, maybe you guys are really the ones who are more focused on your careers and, really not really pursuing love at this time. And maybe it's even just your outlook on love with that Two of Cups with the stormy background. Maybe you have had bad experiences in the past. So maybe because of that, this is you actually in that Queen of Coins energy saying that you've been having career success. And maybe there's someone who comes around who, you do want to have that type of connection with, but maybe you're just a little superstitious as far as how, a love relationship would play out for you. And that could even be what the Magician in reverse is pointing to. So hopefully that made sense. But yeah, let's see what the relationship message says. It says relationships that are healthy thrive on interdependence. It's important to recognize that you need others as much as they need you. You must allow people to support you just as you are there for them. This is a time to be vulnerable, to speak up about your needs, and to ask for them to be fulfilled. Trust. You will be met with kindness and love. Don't expect others to read your mind, though. Ask and it is given. So, and for some of you, maybe that's another way where it could be playing out too, and maybe that's what that Six of Coins is pointing to in the present there, which is to say that, for example, since Pentacles isn't traditionally your energy, maybe this is representing you giving, right, in certain ways, and then feeling like you can't ask someone to give to you, right? And that could be what the Two of Cups is pointing to there. And it could just be saying that, hey, if you do put yourself out there and let someone know that that's what you need, right? Then they would actually meet you halfway with that. And that could be what the Three of Cups energy is pointing to, saying that if you let those needs be known, they might actually be met. So, and I know it's a thing where cancers a lot of times they do tend to put others first and, don't really feel too comfortable asking for their needs to be met. So maybe that's what that's pointing to there. But hopefully that resonated for you guys. We'll wrap up there. Happy holidays, and I'll see you all next year. All right, bye.